Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Today is Friday, December 9th. We are getting that countdown time to Christmas. Okay, you guys. So on today, I want to talk about my absolute favorite Christmas traditions. Some things we still do now. Other things have been long gone, but they have lived with me and stuck with me for many years of my life. When I was young, we would always string popcorn on the tree. Now, as I continue, I'm always looking over here at the papers because some things I don't remember, so I'm always writing them down. But when we were young, we would always string up popcorn on a tree. I don't know if you guys ever did that as kids or you still do it now or do it with your kids. I love it. Sometimes as kids, we would make our own ornaments, and that's DIY things. DIY things, you look at it now, how big it is. Whether you're on Pinterest or you're doing it on YouTube or it's on any social media channel, even if you don't post it, it's something that you just do behind closed doors. So if you make a living, like a full lucrative business out of it, it is amazing and great. And making ornaments as kids, that is something that is memorable and nostalgic. It's just simple times. It reminds me of like the stories I hear from my mom and dad's childhood when they were young, and things that they used to do, and things like how a lot of kids now, not all kids, but there's a lot of kids that are so abundantly spoiled and take the simple things for granted. And I always tell my mom and dad that they had the best childhood for the Christmas farm. So for you guys that, love real trees or you fake trees or you're in between like me, like you love both, whatever you do, do it well. And I always say that. But that was always a happy memory that will always stick with me for years to come. We will always go and get a tree, and you always want to find the right one, the right size, the right fit for your home. You wanted to feel like it was calling your name and you knew that that was the one. Christmas music. Now, I am one of the ones that I am a heavy set. I like it. I love it. I anticipate it. I adore it. I am a lover to the core of Christmas music. Now, I've always loved Christmas music and just would dance to it and have a good time, and it put me in that holiday mood. Since I was a little girl and as a full-grown adult, I still am that same person now, and I love it that I am unique and characterized in that way that where, you live for this moment and you don't want it to go away. We will also put up the Christmas tree on Thanksgiving. Sometimes do it the day before. So Thanksgiving is always on a Thursday after we have eaten and, the celebration. You putting up the Christmas tree. Take it down the Thanksgiving decorations, about the Christmas decorations, preparing for the holidays. So that was always something that has stuck and I remembered in my mind, for years. Paper reuser like me, hey, we're one of a kind. And I don't think that that's cheap. I think that it's resourceful because if you think about it, as much as you may go through paper or gift bags, we will always use shoe boxes. And what I mean by shoe boxes, it could be a shoe box. If it has shoes in there, now if the shoes are in there, don't worry about it. But let's say if you had a shoe box and you no longer use it, then you no longer need it. But you haven't thrown it away and you have, let's say you have a DIY gift or you have a gift and you haven't had time to go and get a box or you're considering getting a box. You have that box laying around your house, utilize it and use it. You ready to have your paper, you're ready to go. So that'll be it. We will also open up this Christmas stockings, sometimes the smaller gifts on Christmas Eve, and then the majority, more important, larger gifts on Christmas Day. Over the years, it really has changed. So we mainly now just do all the gifts, big and small, on Christmas Day. If many of you guys have seen this, or maybe you used it, or maybe remember from your childhood, maybe you still use it now. If you remember icicle tinsels, always I would put it in my hair and, add it because my hair was already long. So I would feel like I was a princess and then just dress up with, things I had around the house or go get in my mom's clothes. So, it was just that nostalgic feeling. And even though sometimes it would be a nuisance to clean up, I was that weird one that actually enjoyed it because I would throw it up in the air and just enjoy actually cleaning it up. But also thank God for the vacuum as well, or the broom. Special ornaments to commemorate that year or to represent each person's personality. They didn't have a lot of those back then, especially in the 80s and the 90s. But if you could find something that represented the whole family, or as in the past couple of years, we have purchased ornaments that have represented everyone in the family. And I would say such as, if my mom did one for me, one time she purchased a ballerina ornament. I never was a ballet dancer per se, but I have had my own opportunity where I've danced for church. I've danced in programs. I've danced for competitions. I've also danced where I've had my own dance team. So, being a dancer, and I'm in a lot of things. I would do hip hop. I would do lyrical, liturgical, contemporary. I also had dabbled in classes to learn some ballet. So that was a representation. My dad, she would get one that had football, or she would get one that represented, him loving to cook. So you saw like a chef hat. My mom, she loved shoes. She loved high heels. So one time she had one that represented a high heel. Doing family skits, so right that I was going to church or just in the house, and you're doing one where you're making it up and you get all the family involved. Absolute favorites. We would go caroling, and we haven't been caroling since I was 12 or 13 years old. Have family parties. So a lot of times my family would come over on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, so it's like a big celebration. So it's like family and friends. So you was always getting together over Christmas Eve because, everyone had their own household on Christmas Day, especially your friends. So you do things on Christmas Eve. And then with our family, we would just all get together and celebrate on Christmas Day. So playing games, and we still do that now. So like the DIY games that you make up, like sometimes like my mom had this drawing board that we use that for Pictionary, doing things like that. So, those things are fun. So rather it's making up your own game or doing things that are now, Pictionary, or you purchase one, Connect Four, if you're doing like Deal or No Deal, like the plug and play games, whatever. It's just bringing you happiness and joy. Of Christmas movies. I can't even forget about that. Mom and I are the Hallmark Channel lovers. We love Hallmark, and we could sit down and watch that all day, all night. Especially if they leave out of directly Christmas and just doing the winter movies from, the whole month of January. That is great and fun as well, because Christmas is gone, but you still have that feeling of that love and winter feeling, and it still kind of feel like Christmas in the air, even though it's gone. It can still last, and you can make it hang around for a little bit longer on Christmas Eve. And then it's kind of like how you would do Thanksgiving. You're cooking the big meals on Christmas Eve. On like like Thanksgiving Eve, so that Wednesday, and then you're enjoying your smorgasbord Thanksgiving Day, Christmas Eve. Sometimes we would go to a play, or if they had like a Christmas party we would go to, or if you're going to a musical or something. Christmas dinners have really changed over the years, but a lot of times it will always be cooked on Christmas Eve and then devoured on Christmas Day. And pretend it was actual snow. So we take that and put it on a tree. And sometimes just really just stick it there. Sometimes you stick it directly on the branch. I don't say on the branch, on the tree itself, in that little small area, just to make sure, this is my train of thought, just to make sure that it would stay. So we didn't use glue or anything like that to make it stay, but just maybe just make sure you're sticking it on there precisely so it wouldn't fall. So it was like our little homemade way, especially the kids, something that my mom would come over with to have us be much more involved and to have to, ignite our imagination. We'll also put it in a window. So that would we would kind of use, I don't know what my mom and dad would use to make it stay, but something I always remembered as well. Even as now, we don't do it as often, but I remember it, and it's something I want to keep as a tradition for myself. Making it feel like it's, especially being in the South, please can I have some snow? When it did snow, I think I shared this before, living in Louisiana, it's not something that you see every day, all the time. For you guys live in different countries or states, whenever you have opportunity to watch this video. So I can sit here and be honest and say, I'm jealous because I love it. So the times that I have seen snow, I revel in it. I love it. I'm just that real when I would go out there and have all the memories in the world. So whether that was building a snowman, I do remember doing that when I was a little girl. You could see that snow waking up, you could hear it. You know, the fireplace was up, was going. My parents were up early, and you're getting dressed, getting all your things on after you ate breakfast, and your parents said, okay, now you can go, because I was so impatient, just ready to go out there, especially if you saw your friends or you hearing them when they came and knock on the door or ring the doorbell. I want to be ready to go out there and just fuck and have a good time. So building Frosty, get out there making the snow angels. And hopefully you guys have your own memories, that rather you're keeping your own traditions, whether you put a spin on it and putting it with your own character, your own taste, your own personality of who you are, or you're totally throwing them away and creating brand new ones. Whatever you do it well. So hopefully that you are enjoying and embracing and being and living in the moment. Merry Christmas, Feliz Navidad, and I will see you guys in the very next video.